Hello, everyone. Welcome to the people to this pitch session. So my name is Philippe Davignon. I'm working for the French company GENEVOS. We are a leading company into hydrogen power solutions. And I'm here today to say that I have some solutions to decarbonize the maritime sector. I will give you first some numbers, basically 3%. 3%, this is the level of the global emission related to the maritime sector that represent more than 1,000 million tons of CO2 per year. During the last COP, one country said that basically if the maritime sector was a country, that would be into the top 3 or the top 4 of the largest emitter worldwide. The problem is, at the current growth rate, this emission could reach 10% by 2050. Except that in 2050, we have some targets set up by the International Maritime Organization that say that we should be net zero at that time. Why should we be net zero? Because, as you know, the conventional engines are pushing the climate change through the global emissions of gas. Because all these conventional engines have also a very deep impact on health, on organisms above and also below the water. We should not forget as well the sound pollution created by the diesel engines that disturbs a lot the biodiversity into the oceans. And last but not least, the climate change and the emissions are producing more climate change. We are into a vicious circle that leads to acidification of the ocean and food chain crisis tomorrow. So we really need to accelerate and we need to make some change here. We at GENEVOS, we have a purpose to propose clean maritime solution for a resilient maritime sector. And today our solution impact is able to bring up to 95% CO2 emission reduction compared to the diesel equivalent over the complete lifetime, and I will come to it in a couple of minutes. Before to do that, as I said, we are working with hydrogen systems, so I will just bring back some key facts about hydrogens. Hydrogens are produced annually approximately 100 million tons worldwide. It's massively used for the oil and gas industry, approximately 60%, 20% for the chemical industry to produce fertilizer like ammonia, the rest for transport, industry, etc. What is also interesting to see is that in terms of production, today, it's mainly produced out of natural gas. We are now talking about what we call turquoise hydrogens, and also on the dark side, from oil and from coal up to 40%. This link to this rainbow of hydrogen, you probably heard about it, we call green hydrogen, blue hydrogen, etc. It's basically linked to the way to produce it. The greener, out of water electrolysis with renewable electricity, to the darkest, which is basically gasification of coal, where basically you have a very, very large production of CO2 at that time. Hydrogen is basically seen as one of the vital future fuel for the marine. This is a small table made by our dear friend from Maersk in the center, which proposes you, let's say, the energy use evolution between 2030 to 2050. Not going too much into the detail, what does it say? The fossil fuel will remain a potential fuel usage for the deep sea and high sea vessels. We will see also the coming of methanol and ammonia, so new fuels, also for these deep sea applications. But hydrogen, you can see actually here in pink, will be mainly used actually for harbor with short time for or short autonomy vessels, and mainly used through fuel cell. And this is basically what we are proposing at GENEVOS. GENEVOS, as I said, French-based company. It's a team of today 70 people, founded in 2018 by Rebecca and Phil, respectively CEO and CTO. We are all experts coming from either the maritime sector, the hydrogen sector, or the industry in general. We are based in La Rochelle, for those people not familiar with France. La Rochelle is in the middle Atlantic coast, in between Nantes and Bordeaux. After several years spent into a startup center, we have integrated a very nice new building, 1,200 square meters, where we can definitely grow our production, testing centers, and all our offices. And now I can now present you, let's say, our solution. So we call it Hydrogen Power Module, aka HPM. What is it basically? It's a full integrated modular system, fuel cell system, which integrates all the necessary function to deliver a stabilized DC power that can be used on board any kind of ship from 20 kilowatt to multi-megawatt system. We have an extreme efficient system, more than 50% as efficiency. As I said, this is a highly scalable modules. They can be put all together in parallel to reach much higher power requests. And last but not least, especially for the big system of 250 kilowatts, we are compatible with actually future e-fuel. As I said, methanol, ammonia will be also very used tomorrow. And the good thing with methanol and ammonia is that through reforming process or cracking process, we can have access to hydrogen, which is stored then easily than compressed. And thanks to our very low pressure inlet, we can use this hydrogen with our system. We want to simplify the decarbonation, basically. So our system is basically as simple as any kind of generator. We have a fuel and the air as an entry. System is cooled with water. And as an output, a stabilized power, DC, as I said, that you can use for main propulsion, auxiliaries, battery charging, backup power, whatever. The main difference, we are rejecting only air and water vapor, so no emissions, no gas, greenhouse gases, no particles. The main difference with a diesel generator, of course. In terms of integration, also quite simple. Our system is in between the storage of hydrogen, which can be today for many projects under compressed, so in specific tanks. We talk more or less 350 bar, can be also higher. The hydrogen power module uses the hydrogen, and we are linked directly to a battery pack. Batteries are necessary with hydrogen systems to absorb peak loads, basically. So the hydrogen fuel cell will deliver a continuous power. All the peak loads will be then served by the battery system. Linked to this integration, you can also have an access on our website to our brand new hydrogen vessel configurator. It's quite a world premiere. You can, for any kind of vessels, put all your inputs for the vessels and your requirement. And as a result, you will get a first pre-study of powertrain sizing to give you some idea of what you would need in terms of hydrogen systems, what kind of product you can use, and some key comparison in between battery and diesel system. And of course, some contacts after that to our team if you want to go further into your project. In terms of targeted market, as I said, hydrogen will be mainly used for coastal short sea applications, but then on any kind of vessel. So we target basically the workboats, tugs, multi-service vessels, dredger vessels. Passenger transportation, of course, inter-island, harbor, ferries also. The yacht industry for auxiliary and propulsion are the main market then. Then, of course, we have some strong discussion with big offshore vessels, cruising, and also shipping. Not necessarily for the main propulsion, but at least for the other loads. The main problem is not the power you can have, but more the way to transport hydrogen in terms of volume and place. Today, in terms of application, as I said, we are quite a new company, but we have delivered already 3 vessels last year, mainly prototypes, demonstrator, really to prove the technology. Now we are switching to the commercial one with the second line, a passenger vessel, 18 meters for Venice in Italy. The second one I will come back just after, and the last one is a fishing vessel, 12 meters, so small boat, small applications, very interesting for us. And today, into the pipe, approximately 40 projects in discussion, very various applications for Europe, Middle East mainly, and a little bit from North America. Just a small focus on this commercial boat. It's quite an interesting one. This is a 45-meter harbor tanker, which is used more or less 24/7. That will be deployed in the Baltic Sea, so in top north in Europe. Where we propose a 80 kilowatt system to make what we call a range extender. So the vessel is equipped, as you can see, with a massive 2 megawatt hour battery pack. And our system is there to increase the autonomy of the vessel by recharging basically the battery pack. So we can, with our system, propose up to 1 megawatt hour of energy per day, actually. More related to SEANERGY and to CTVs. CTVs are typically some workboats that can have a very nice applications for hydrogens. Why? Because we can have completely, let's say, a very high performance and a very high range, much better than battery, if we compare the volume and the weight of the global system. I put here some typical applications and some projects we are also discussing. So for a standard wind farm CTV, 28 meters, going 20 knots, with a 2 megawatt e-propulsion power. So you can have 150 nautical miles range by integrated approximately 500 kilowatts of fuel cell system. That represents approximately 400 kilo of hydrogen. To give you an idea, that represents approximately a 20-feet container as a volume. And coupled to that, a 1 megawatt hour LFP batteries. In terms of expanding abroad, as I said, we are a French-based company, but today working with a lot of international. We have basically some key partners all around, as you can see, Europe mainly, some discussion with Turkey and Southeast Asia, and some targets also to come for the North American. Basically, is what we want is to develop some local specific integrator partnership, so that they can be able to make services, maintenance, and work with us for the development of the system around the different regions. I'm coming to the end of my presentation. If you have any question, you can ask them right now, or you can also visit us on our booth in C43, just around there, and we'll be happy to answer your question. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.